Now let us study about the charge distribution when two capacitors are connected in parallel. So in this concept we have two separate capacitors and they are connected in parallel, and we have to decide what charge will go on which capacitor. So we are taking only parallel combination because we know that in series combination, whenever the capacitors are connected in series, each of the capacitor will acquire the same charge. So there is nothing to find there. So we will study only about the capacitors connected in parallel. So in this particular concept there can be three cases, so we'll study each case separately. So first case we can take when out of the two capacitors one capacitor is uncharged. When one capacitor is uncharged and another capacitor is charged, and if both of them are connected in parallel in this way between terminals X and Y, and this is C1 capacitor which is charged. Let us say that the charge on this capacitor is plus Q1 and minus Q1 on this plate, and the capacitor C2 is uncharged. Now as soon as the both the capacitors are connected in parallel, the charge will redistribute among the two capacitors, and there will be a final potential in the steady state. So we can say that the final potential difference between terminals X and Y, say Vf, it will be given by the total charge upon the total capacitance. Now since the charge always remain conserved and there is no battery connected to provide any extra charge, any excess of charge, or to remove any charge, that means that whatever is the distribution on both the capacitors, the total charge will be equal to Q1. So the final potential will be equal to Q1 upon the total capacitance, which in parallel connection is given by C1 by plus C2. So this will be the final potential difference, and if suppose in the question given to us, if we know the value of V final, then we can find the value of Q1 and hence we can find the charge distribution. Now for derivation purpose, let us assume that the final charge distribution on this capacitor is plus Q1F and minus Q1F, and on this capacitor it is plus Q2F and minus Q2F. Let us say this is the final charge distribution. Now by the law of conservation of charge, Q1F plus Q2F should be equal to Q1 because of the conservation of charge. So using this equation, we can find the values of Q1 and Q2F. Now Q1F, since Q is equal to CV, so we can write here the Q1F on C1 will be given by C1 into Vf. So substituting the value of Vf from here, we can write it as C1 Q1 upon C1 plus C2. So this will be the final charge on capacitor C1, and similarly we can find the final charge on capacitor C2, which will be given by C2 Vf. So it will be C2 Q1 upon C1 plus C2. So this will be the final charge distribution for this particular case when one of the capacitor is uncharged. Now let us consider the second case, in which when both the capacitors are charged, with same polarity plates connected together. So in this case we have again two capacitors like this between terminals X and Y. This is C1 and this is C2, and if this is plus Q1 and this is minus Q1, and if this is plus Q2 and this is minus Q2, because both are charged and the same polarity plates are connected together, that is positive plate of C1 is connected to positive plate of C2 and negative plate of C1 is connected to negative plate of C2. So now as soon as this is connected, then the total charge on the left side will become equal to Q1 plus Q2, and similarly total charge on the right side of the capacitors will become equal to minus of Q1 plus Q2. So the final potential difference, just as we calculated here, again we will apply the same steps. So the final potential difference, let us say Vf, it will be equal to the total charge upon total capacitance. Now in this case the total charge is Q1 plus Q2. So the total charge is Q1 plus Q2 upon total capacitance, which is C1 plus C2. So this will be the final potential difference, and if in the question the value of this Vf is given to us, we can find the value of Q1 and plus Q2 and the final charge distribution that will happen on C1 and C2. So again, by applying law of conservation of charge like we applied in the first case, so the final charge distribution, let us say the final charge here is Q1F and the final charge here is Q2F, then Q1F and Q2F should be equal to Q1 plus Q2 by the law of conservation of charge. So if V is known, then the final charge can be found out by Q1F, which is on charge on capacitor C1. So it will be C1 into V. So same like here, C1 into Vf. So in this case, it will be equal to Q1 plus Q2 upon C1 plus C2, and similarly Q2F will be equal to C2Vf. So it will be equal to C2 into Q1 plus Q2 upon C1 plus C2. So this will be the final charges after the capacitors are connected in this way. Now this brings us to the final case. Let us do it here. So the third case will be when both capacitors are charged with opposite polarities, with opposite polarity plates connected together. So here we will have two capacitors C1 and C2 between X and Y. This will have charge plus Q1 and this will have minus Q1, and this is connected to the plate of opposite polarity. It's connected to a plate of opposite polarity. So that means this plate will consist of charge minus Q2, and hence this plate will have the charge plus Q2. So on the left side, the total charge will be equal to Q1 minus Q2, and on right side the total charge will be equal to minus of Q1 minus Q2. It will be Q2 minus Q1. That can be written like this by taking minus sign common. Now again, by law of first let us find the final potential difference. So the final potential difference Vf will be equal to the total charge. The total charge here is Q1 minus Q2 upon total capacitance, which is C1 plus C2. Now applying the law of conservation of charge, the final charges Q1F plus Q2F, let us say this has Q1F and this has Q2F charge, then the total charge should be equal to the initial charge of the system, which is equal to Q1 minus Q2. So by using these, we can find the final charge Q1F, which will be equal to C1 into Vf. So it will be C1 and Vf we can supply from here, Q1 minus Q2 divided by C1 plus C2, and similarly the final charge will be equal to C2Vf. So it will be C2 into Q1 minus Q2 upon C1 plus C2. Now in this particular case, we have assumed a couple of things. I'll write it here separately so you can note it down. The assumptions that we took is first that the Q1 charge on this plate is greater than the charge on this plate, because we took Q1 minus Q2 and we assumed that this is the positive charge. So our first assumption is that charge Q1 is greater than the charge Q2. And similarly, because of this, the second assumption is actually comes from this first assumption only, Now the charge, if Q1 is greater than Q2, then the potential on X is greater than the potential on Y. So the potential difference Vf that we have calculated is actually the potential difference of Vx minus Vy. So these two assumptions are we already taken these assumption, although they do not make any difference when the numericals are given on this part. So you just have to apply these final charge equations and you can get the value.